The school takes in children from the age of 4 up to 9. There's 77% of our pupils have EAL issues. Because of that, we've trained every member of staff to be able to teach children with EAL issues, and that includes our learning support assistants, right through to our teachers and our admin staff, because it's a whole school issue.
We're an 11 to 16 school. We've just recently become an academy. We have 90% of our students speak a different language at home than English. We have lots of students who are able to speak in their home language, but they can't write in their home language. They then really struggle with a new language that has different rules for which they didn't know the rules for their first language, and particularly with writing, if they've not been used to writing and reading, then you've got a much, much bigger hurdle to go on to, particularly at secondary level, when we're now really focusing on lots of content and subject areas rather than the basics of learning words and language.
Some of the children join us when they're 6 years old, and in their home countries they would not have been in school. We're just expecting these children to come in from Eastern European countries and go straight into a classroom, do the full day, full week and get on with it. And they've had no induction in. So it is critical that they feel safe, secure, happy before we can move on with any other learning.
One of the problems with central prescription is that this is often a very regional problem. It's also something that tends to happen in waves. So over the 6 years that I've known this school, at the very beginning we had lots of students coming in because of European expansion, and we also had lots of students coming who were refugees from Afghanistan due to the issues and problems that were happening in the country at the time there. Now, the government will lag on that anyway, and by the time something is passed, it could well be that there's a different set of people arriving with different needs, and this part of London is differently affected by immigration and people moving from abroad than other parts of London. So it's not even as simple as saying, well, a whole city or a whole town, because it can often be pockets within that.
It's very, very hard having children coming in throughout the year with the needs that they've got and meeting the standards that are expected of us. Now, I'm the first person to say we need standards, but I cannot get every single child to national averages. If they don't have the English, I can't prove that they're at that level. And that's the understanding that has to come from the top.
When high-stakes exams are at a specific age, it's very difficult for our students because they might only have arrived in the last 2 or 3 years. When they're sat in silence in timed conditions and they've got to write down exactly what their answers are without any extra help or ability to speak to somebody first, just to get the ideas out, then they struggle to achieve the grades that properly reflect their level of ability in terms of thinking in the subject. And that's a problem because those GCSEs influence what you do at A-level, that then influences what you do at university. And if they can't then go on to study at the level that they want to, they don't feel integrated, they don't feel able to make choices in the future that they want to make, I think that can demotivate people. We can demotivate entire communities and ostracise people if we're not careful.